I take it you can hear me? There's been a load of changes to my audio output, and I have not set it up, and I only realised that a second ago, and I'm ill. We can talk a little bit about the Jericho. I have not been there in the open wave PTU yet. Bear with me a couple of minutes. A green screen up. Need to point my microphone at my face as well. That'd help. Oh, we're close to the next part of reunion. Have I got loads of Amazon pages open? Who knows? That's because I bought a new microphone. Oh my god, I'm glad that picture. Oh, oh my god. So I just wanted to tell you. I just need to tell you what I saw on my screen. Let me put my green screen up. I saw really buff pictures of Diana Troy from Star Trek, like super inhumanly buff. Because one of my mates found a load of pictures of really buff Diana Troy and shared them with me. It's nothing you'd want to see ever. Oh, what? Why are there so many weird pages open on my thingy? Not a euphemism. And let me just tweet that I'm streaming. Hey, I be streaming. https://twitch.tv/BoredGamer UK. Oh, I do not feel well. Talking about Star Citizen. Hashtag BoredGamer. Hashtag Star Citizen. Oh, I've put BoredGamer 3 times. That's how ill I am. Ooh. Who would have guessed? I'd literally get painfully ill. It's probably just a flu or something. It could be the old Rona. Let's hope it's not, but it could be. Not the end of the world if it is. I mean. Bam. Oh, come on. Oh, what a beautiful music. That's probably it. Probably enough. I've got loads of weird pages open. Crowdfunding spread. Let's make sure there's no more buff pictures of Diana Troy. Alright, feel free to link me the video of Jericho. Starglaze Donut, that would be appreciated. We can I'll probably cover it in a video myself, maybe tomorrow even. even though it's just a shot of it. Oh. Right. Hello. Hello. Ah, my hand's crushed. Oh. Hey. How's it going? I hope everyone is doing alright. Tell me if the music gets too loud in the background. I'm ill. For the last couple of days, I've been pretty rough. I thought I'll stream for an hour today because I feel like I've got some energy and it doesn't take that much for me to do my streams because I don't have to think beyond other questions.
85 to Stanton. Got a late transfer and a last batch of supplies.
Having a bit of a chat. What
What
music is this? Playing some of Chiff Monkeys. Let's just play this. Let's just play the golden oldie that I always play. I think that was something from the Beatrice the Stanton. Yeah, so I've been in bed, shivering, then really hot, and shivering again. No energy. Like aching, like everything ached. At one point I was really sensitive to the light. I basically had all these like horrible flu symptoms without any chestiness or sinusiness. I've got quite a bad headache still and I get pretty dizzy very often. So I'm taking it easy for the next couple of days still. But I will be back to making videos properly tomorrow. I sort of had some stuff that was quite easy for me to put out. Some of it I'd already recorded that I just got Zin to entirely finish off. And today you'll see a video that is of her trying out a full gameplay loop of beauty shot mining and refining. So going through the whole gameplay loop, renting a prospector, probably buying one as well at the end to show the differences, but renting a prospector, going mining on a planet, looking at the different resources there, potentially doing some containing mining, and then taking those resources back to the refinery, actually refining and a bit about those mechanics. I will turn the music down. How's that? That a bit better? Yeah? No? Oh, shit, son. Sorry. Sorry, Is that better? Apologies. I've realised what I'd done. So my brain is not with it. Okay, so I couldn't work out why the music wasn't playing, so I added a load of audio, additional audio things to the mixer. And then, obviously, when I turned that down, I only turned one of them down, and all the others were playing. Apologies. So let me recap. I'm so dumb. I've been ill, been shivering, and basically had flu or something. Could be Rona. Been pretty rough for the last couple of days. I'm only going to stream for like an hour today. I thought it was probably worth streaming because it's pretty low effort from my point of view. It's not something that takes. It's just responding to questions and chatting to people, which is much easier than scripting a video and working out exactly what I want to do and jumping into Star Citizen and recording it and editing and stuff. And it's much lower effort than that, which is significantly better, sort of mind-wise. But yeah, fortunately, Zin's been able to step up, and we had some stuff pre-recorded. She's just been able to finish off, which has been great. She's going to be doing a full gameplay loop of mining and refining today. So that should be pretty cool. So someone has sent me a potential video No. An 8-hour journey to Jericho. Is there a... there is a time associated with it, which is not copied across. No. What? Why don't you want to copy the... Why don't you want to do the time? It doesn't want to do the time. Doesn't... So yeah, the Jericho video, for some reason it doesn't want to save the... It doesn't want to actually go to that time that you've sent me. Oh, come on. Sorry, it's frustrating when my brain literally doesn't work properly. Video unavailable. That's right. It won't let me jump to the time that I want, though. Okay, well... Do you know what time it is in the video? You can tell me the actual time code, the hour, whatever. That'd be useful. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today. My brain is totally addled. I don't know if I'm gonna... I don't know how here I am. I don't know if I'm there. I don't know where I could be. We do have 3.12.0 in open PTU at the moment, though, so people can try that out, which is good. Refined ore prices are so bad. Is it that just in the PTU, or do you think that's going to be the ore prices? Well, it will change and evolve. It will change probably somewhat in the PTU before live as well. The idea is that they want to bring all sort of jobs sort of in line with each other-ish at this stage. It's the way I see it anyway. So they'll want the same amount of time you'd spend bounty hunting, potentially, that you'd also make in mining, is the sort of way that I see it. Might not be exactly one-to-one or anything like that, for sure, but so it could be different risks and rewards and things like that. What have you put here? What's Sin put here? Can't sell cargo anywhere. Have you also contributed to this, Sin? You not sell cargo anywhere. Is that what's happening in your video? You can't sell stuff. Josh Davies, hey bud. I thought I would eat from seeing animals. They've got dedicated teams working on animals at the moment. I think we could potentially start to see them next year. I know, that would be exciting, right? It would only be very small animals. So they're working on like boids and stuff. We'll certainly see work on them next year. But I think we could see the small derpy animals or insects or something next year. In your opinion, what is the best thing that's been added to 3.12? Well, 3.12 isn't live yet. But further refining out of the... further sort of polishing out of the mining gameplay loop with refining actually helps start to complete that, which is pretty solid. The universe looks fantastic now. The gas clouds look great. The stations look great. The planets look even better and better and better. That is pretty good stuff, quite genuinely. There's actually quite a lot in 3.12, and I think it's because some features that we wanted did get cut. But there's an Idris you can go fight now. There's some other little hidden bits that people are finding, like with Jericho. There's a reputation service, which, if you want to do bounty hunting, is actually pretty good, because it's reputation is going to be saved between all the missions and mission givers and stuff, and obviously that will build orgs and guilds will be part of that in the future. But that basically adds long-term persistence, or at least it adds the mission data to long-term persistence, so saves your progress. But you also have the sort of like bounty hunting missions and assassination missions, getting extra advantages here of, well, you actually build reputation towards all of these different bounty hunting missions when you're doing them. They'll give you a bonus if you've got high rep with them when you complete those missions. You will get certification missions as well with them, sort of all as part of this. So bounty hunting missions have really sort of like been fluffed up somewhat. But yeah, the Idris and that's great. The tractor beam tool is cool and leads on to great utility eventually. At the moment, there's not a huge reason to use the tractor beam. I mean, yes, it can be used as a grappling hook inside structures. Yes, it can make your life a bit more simple when you're trying to grab a box from somewhere, for sure. But I quite like the Talon as well. There was quite a lot of little things and medium-sized things there, and the start of some bigger stuff with like reputation system. But just the fact that the verse is looking even better is pretty good, quite honest. And I'm looking forward to properly fighting the Idris for sure. I do think that CIG missed the mark with the refinery by not including a journal section for refinery jobs. Yeah, so I don't think they missed the mark. I just don't think they've added that yet. I totally get what you mean. We need that. We need an assets tab in the Mobilglass, and they're building that. They've talked about it before, sort of like finance and assets tab. So part of the, we can actually send merits and Alpha UC to people at the moment. It should be like part of that, but we'll have a full-on where are your assets, where are all the stations that you've got your goods, and all that sort of stuff as well. So, Batpool, thank you very much. Very much appreciated for the love, for the money, love, the sub, whatever it was. Thank you, the sub. It'd be more useful if you could use it in an armistice zone, the tractor beam. Yes, totally agree. I think that we should be able to probably pretty soon. I suspect they'll do that in a 3.12.x patch, because obviously we've got the nerf, the power nerf guns. They work in armistice zones. They are going to be relaxing armistice zones as well soon, so that you can actually shoot your FPS weapons there. But it makes sense to be able to use tractor beams in them as well, and potentially before that. Although, could people kill each other with boxes then? You know what I mean? If you can hit someone with a box hard enough, that's going to cause some damage. Or block them so they can't move. What is the deal with Jericho Station? Part of a mission. So at the moment, let's. Well, I don't know exactly where in this video the Jericho Station is, so I can show you pictures of it, and we'll look at it properly later. So Jericho is a military station. Do you remember the military docks that we saw for like Fleet Week and stuff? It's sort of like one of them. Pretty much is one of them. And for this post, DSC Murphy and Storm Eagle have credit for this. There's an actual station called the Jericho, which it looks pretty functional. And it is visible in the PTU currently. And it's expected that it will be part of some missions soon. But also expect it to be a place where the UE ships spawn from and go to, and things like that as well. But probably see a few of them around Saturn system, probably see a few of those around any UE system. It's sort of like their versions of military Cryastro. But yeah, we'll have a look at it later, but expect to see it as part of missions in the future, but also just generally part of the system, part of the game. People are just like, oh, maybe it'll be in use very soon. Who knows? Maybe something later this month. maybe question mark. When do you think CIG will give us the ability to have party members pick up and sell refined cargo we drop off to refine at the refinery decks? Yeah, we need the ability to be able to work together with org mates and teammates and crew to be able to do all the admin. Yeah? Don't know when that's going to be there. It will be after iCache, because they need that sort of like optimized database stuff, and then they'll build that into. Probably soon afterwards, you'll start to get more and more org features and more admin features and permission system stuff. And I suspect it will just be based on priorities at some point after that. We don't have hard dates and that sort of stuff. We don't know their priorities. When we see the expanded, new roadmaps later on this month, I suspect we'll be able to have a more inkling of when they're actually going to get that solved. But expect it after iCache. What do we got? What do we got? Apologies if I'm a bit out of it. I am pretty ill. So there are some improvements with 3.12 bug fix wise. Now, one of the things that we discovered that hadn't been fixed, that said had been fixed, was canopies opening and closing. Okay, I was talking about it in a video, and Zin literally was like, "My canopy is opening and closing right now without me pressing the button." I was like, "Okay." So that's a bit of a shame. Hopefully they'll get that done for the live build. Canopies opening and closing on some ships is pretty annoying. And upsetting that it still isn't fixed on some of those ships. With secret locations like Jericho Station coming in and old ones like Benny Henge, isn't there become a real need to quantum to certain locations without a beacon? And how would it work? That's a good point. So expect there to be lots of locations around at the moment, or coming in the near-ish future, that you'll only be able to quantum to, and it's true at the moment as well, you're only be able to quantum to when you know the location, so mission markers, or when you get asked to go there. In the future, yeah, we'll be able to save locations, we'll be able to leave beacons, and that sort of stuff. We don't know exactly how the saving of locations is going to work beyond dropping a beacon. Like, can it be dropping a beacon, or, well, if there's a structure there, well, your computer will elaborate, going, well, I know that this object is going to orbit and travel around the system like this, so I know where it's always going to be at any given time. You'll remember as well that a lot of this stuff, they want moving planets and orbiting planets and all this sort of stuff, and dynamic splines for quantum travel and things like that. So it makes it even more complicated. I've got no appetite at the moment, unfortunately. Bit of a migraine, bit of a headache permanently. So I've got used to it. When do I think 3.12 will go live? End of next week. So we should see it live by Christmas. Oh, it could be end this week. Within 10 days. Within 10 days. Eventually, end of this week. I forgot what day it was because I'm a bit spaced out. Apologies. It seems the Redeemer is using the modular internals from the Vanguard for its lower decks habitation. Do you think CIG would add a dropship module, even though they said it's pure gunship? It's a possibility, but they did say they were going the gunship route, so that makes more sense. Also, because they're white boxing the ship out, it makes sense that they've used parts of the Vanguard for that sort of initial white box, although I suspect it will evolve slightly more. Do you think that a potential secret ship will come on the full release of 3.12? I think it's possible. So when we talked about that leaked and rumoured ship that might come out with 3.12, I'm literally not mentioning its name in case people want to avoid those spoilers. We've got a video on it. You can literally watch that video on a few videos ago. And you'll be able to see it's got like a Pokemon thumbnail with a silhouette of a ship. Yeah, so it's... The rumours were that that ship was going to come out with 3.12 live. So, potential new ship with 3.12 live. Not confirmed, though. Did you all plan on finding the Jericho station? Well, we know where it is because people have already mapped where it is. We'll be getting some footage of it at some point, potentially tomorrow. The question in brackets, and we'll be able to see your question more readily. And apologies if I'm, as I said, a bit out of it. I am relatively ill at the moment. 3.12 rock. Is the swinging of the mining arm left and right bugged or a new trick? So they've sort of done two things. They've made the mining arm work on VTroy, and they've also made the movement of the rock more in line with ships. You can press Z, get the movement back to basically how it was previously, and you can use a button to toggle the arm back to normal as well if you want. What is that button, you ask? I cannot remember. What toggle is it? What a fucking time to get ill, eh? Pardon my French. 3.12's gone to first wave PTU. I was like, oh no, I'm done. I'm done. I can't even think properly. I couldn't read. It was pretty bad. Rock. No. Right alt and G? No. No. G. G. Just G. I press G with the mining arm to swap that as well. How confident are you that this time next year we will see Pro along with server meshing and iCache? Oh, so iCache, yes, and I think it's relatively likely, sort of like 60% likely we will have Pyro and server meshing by the end of next year. I think it's probably a little bit more than that at the moment. We'll have a bit more of an indication when we have the new roadmaps. We'll see what Cloud Imperium are building up to. It does depend on a few things. It should be a priority for them, so I would expect it to end of next year. But it's done when it's done, sort of thing. Hope you get better soon. Thank you very much. The money helps. Jake Graven, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. So I've been playing a load of Cyberpunk 2077. I haven't encountered many bugs. There's been some, and clipping and stuff. And it's not the Jesus game to win all games. It's not next gen. It's just very good. It's worth the money. And it's great fun, but it's not perfect. But it's very good. I've had problems with the melee and the gunplay. However, I've realised that some of the guns and some of the melee weapons don't have the problems I was having. And they do feel satisfying, some of them. So, yeah, some I felt that the gunplay was relatively not satisfying and felt a bit too... It didn't give me a good enough feel when I was using weapons. But there's a load of perks and different weapons you can make and stuff like that. And I'm starting to enjoy it a bit more. I've got Mantis Blades now. They're pretty enjoyable. Is there a wipe coming? Yes, there will be a wipe at some point. I'm not expecting a wipe for 3.12.0 live. Yeah, but Cyberpunk, very enjoyable game. When will they make it so I can defend my ship/cargo without getting a crime stat? Without getting a crime stat. I totally feel you, bro. Hopefully 3.12 will have some more... Well, I know there's some more fixes to the laws and tweaks. I'm just not sure if that fix is going to be in or not for then. When will they make it so I can defend... sorry, we talked about that. Spent 3 hours in prison after I killed a guy stealing my rock. So, what they're going to have, I believe reasonably soon, is that you'll be able to report people that are taken your ship or vehicle, and be able to attack people that have taken your ship or vehicle freely. I think that's the idea. Well, I know that's the eventual idea, but... What is the next gameplay loop you would like to see worked on or started?
Look, Mom, 26 months.
AFK, thank you very much. 26 months. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Look, Mum. Oh, I'm sorry that you've had to be subscribed to me for that long. That sounds painful. Thank you very much, though, sir. What's the next gameplay loop I'd like to see started? I mean, we need physicalized components. I want repair and salvage, which is all part of physicalized components. We need it in game ASAP. How am I? I feel deathly, like quite genuinely. My eyes hurt, my head hurts, my back hurts. But the alternative is me lying in bed, feeling sorry for myself. Whereas I would rather be doing something at least semi-productive and talking to people and making you feel bad for me feeling bad. Same question I made to you 1 year ago, same time of year. Do you think we'll see Pyro next year? Oh, why don't we have it this year? I'll tell you why, because Star Citizen disappoints me with its delays. I love Star Citizen, the project, but it is a very slow burn development, and the delays and timeframes and stuff have been pretty poor. However, they have been making more and more progress, and they have genuinely got some pretty solid tools in the works now. They have a new studio in Montreal that is headed by Turbulent, and one of their major focuses is to build out star systems and gameplay area. So, and they want to get it to 100 plus people within 3 years. So that's going to be pretty good for the game, and that's going to be a genuine way that they can get 100 systems in, or a lot of systems in for its initial launch. Do I think we'll see Pyro next year? Probably not next. I'm hoping we see Pyro by the end of next year. When are docking columns coming out? So we've got docking collars is probably what I mean. So that's ship-to-ship docking. That's going to be a while out. We've got hard dock. We've got ship-to-station docking. And then we've got ship-to-ship docking. So hard dock, parasite docking is the docking the Constellation and the P-52 have. That should be seen actually pretty soon. Okay, that's almost done as far as we're aware. Docking collars on ship-to-station docking. So a big ship goes near a station and then locks onto it. They've been working on that for a while. They've got in-game prototypes of that. That should be done relatively soon as well. So middle of next year, Q3 next year, we'll have more of an actual idea of that with the roadmaps coming out very soon. So hopefully that should tell us exactly where that's coming. And then further out, we've got the ship-to-ship docking. What do you think is more likely, Star Citizen's release or me meeting a girl and getting married? I'm swaying to the former. So I think the former. Sorry, the unknown. It's hard to find love. Do you think Tier 0's static server meshing is coming in 2021? I think we could have that by the end of 2021. Will the character get a docking port? It should do. Well, it can land. It doesn't need one. Does it already have a docking port on the side? Well, now I can't even remember. ETA for a full release of the single player. So, for Star Citizen full release, we don't know. We don't know for the single player Squadron 42 release either. But expect Squadron 42 within the next 18 months, probably within a year now, probably by the end of next year. That's what looks most likely. It's possible that it's not, but because of partially because of the old Rona. But that's what looks likely to me. We'll have to wait and see. We should hear more information on that, whatever, because they'll start their marketing campaign for Squadron, I would expect, very, very soon. For Star Citizen, its Persistent Universe, sorry, 2024, 2025 for a 2024, end of 2024 looks realistic to me for a beta. When will Warbond, when the Nomad go off Warbond and lifetime insurance? I don't know. So you have to get. Occasionally, I'm going to make a grumpy-looking face of God, my head hurts. As I said, it's. I genuinely rather be here chatting than lying in bed going, ugh. What else we got? What's going to be the biggest ship in Star Citizen? I think. Is the King ship bigger than the Super Dreadnoughts? How big is Super Dreadnought boy? So the King ship's 2,700 meters. The King ship, 3 kilometers. The Chun Super. Retribution, not redemption. What am I talking about? So the Retribution is 2,700 meters. I think the King ship's 3 kilometers. But there might be bigger ones. We're just not aware of yet. Alfred, thank you very much for the sub. A lot more restrained today, as I'm in several levels of pain. Apologies. With the new Jericho and old cigarette. Okay, yeah, we talked about that. Is there any news on the release of Terra the Planet? Nope, nothing new on that. We know they're building tools towards more planets. And we know that there's obviously that new turbulent headed studio. Do you predict a 3.12.1 patch this cycle? Yes. Almost certainly a 3.12.1 patch in January. BoredGamer VTuber when? Maybe we'll make Zin into a VTuber. Pardon me. Sorry. Chances of that secret ship going straight to flyable? It's a possibility. It was leaked on SC Leaks and a couple of other places. I didn't have any leaks come to me, and typically I do. I saw some stuff about it. I was like, I'll report on it as news. Do you believe there will be more than 5 criminal ranks? Yeah, so I think what they'll do is they'll probably break criminality down into 2 things. And well, they sort of do already, but I think it will actually evolve more. There'll be you're currently being targeted and chased by police, star ratings going after you, but also your collective sort of like criminality of all the bad shit that you've done that you've yet to be prosecuted for. That will also affect what chases you and how far and why and what jurisdiction you're in and stuff. Yeah? So, the star rating, I think, is going to become more of just an alert rating of what will target you, when it will target you and stuff. 5 stars being pretty much anything that's lawful will target you. Do you know what I mean? Warnick, thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. I have to say you're new here, but you've been subbed for 4 months previously. I'm a monster. When CIG showed 4 concept ships in 2019, Rock, Talon, Xi'an cargo ship, and refinery ship, which one would you be most interested in seeing? The refinery ship. Obviously, we've seen to the maid Xi'an cargo ship. I'm meh. I understand that it helps flesh out the races, though, for sure. I'd be more interested in a Tavaran cargo ship, I think. Will there be an easy way to check your reputation, like in Freelancer? Yeah, so they've literally talked about, in the latest patch notes, or 3.12.0 patch notes, saying there will be a player-facing way of seeing your rep, or they're working on something. So yeah, one of the other things is that with criminality, they'll have to know you're a criminal. So I think, yeah, there'll be a bit of an alert rating where people are basically going, this guy is a criminal, broadcasting it everywhere. But if they haven't scanned you, they haven't found you, they don't know what you look like, or you've moved ship, or whatever, then you'll be able to go onto the radar. So, yeah, as I said, I think that's like the star rating will be more of an alert level eventually. Why do you think they haven't used their building on ArcCorps to make missions similar to Lawville bunker missions? They will in the future, just not enough time. And they did say they wanted to make some of those buildings on ArcCorp and other places have more use and more function. And I would expect it to start to see that. What does a reset do? I watched a video with the devs talking about doing one in 3.12. So if they have to do a wipe, basically it wipes all your assets that you've got in-game. So if you had earned money in-game, if you earned ships in-game, it wipes them. So they try not to do them. I don't think that we'll actually see one with 3.12, but we could. That's not a confirmation. It just doesn't look like they need one for me. Any leaks on the rock and different roles for the different mining heads and tractor beams? Expect it to be able to change some stuff around, but we don't know anything about it yet. I mean, I'm hoping that the rock can change its head out for a pure tractor beam or some other utility. That makes sense to me, even if it's just different mining lasers. Is there a fix for the star map not opening on the mobiles? Relog. I think you can pick up an item and then reholster the item and then try. You sound terrible. I know, right? I'm only on aspirin at the moment. Just some... I'm trying not to take anything while I don't know what's wrong. If I get any worse, I will go to the doctor, and I don't have any of the symptoms for the COVIDs that I would need to get a test. You go on the NHS testing site, it says, do you need a COVID test? It says that lists the symptoms that they'll then either get a test sent to you or they recommend you get a test. Oh, sorry, I'm very, very nauseous, pardon me. We're good. We're good. Do we know if they fixed the canopy bug? They had not fixed the canopy bug in the last PTU, the initial 3.12.0 open PTU. There is an eye patch now, which I have not tested yet. They wanted to have it fixed for 3.12. There's no new news on the RSI Apollo. Can players buy the Jericho? It's a military sort of like outpost gas station-y type refuel, resupply, and rearm point. So expect it to be a place where they spawn capital ships and fleets and security forces. Do you think cargo decks are left over from when CIG wanted to add object push and pull, cargo V2, and they realised they couldn't finish those mechanics and just built the location? Potentially, but they also do want object push and pull and cargo version 2, and they are working on that as well. So it's possible that they went, well, the cargo decks are done, but it's going to take a while to get the rest of this cargo gameplay in. More of an instruction, really. Go take care of yourself, brother. We understand. Rest up. No worries. I'm good. Appreciate it. I'm going to go back to bed in a minute. So don't you worry. Or if this is asked before, but how does the Rock compare with the Prospect in terms of profit? That's a good question. I don't know yet. Because of the changes to mining, the rejig of mining, and refining being added to the loop, I have literally no idea what is the most profitable route yet. Because some materials that were previously not profitable are now profitable because you can refine them and make money from them. There's lots of interesting things with the proficiencies of stations for refining. So you go, well, actually this station makes me plus 20% on these quite cheap, easy to get materials. I just keep on going back and forth and doing that. So there's a lot going on with refining and mining now, so I don't know yet. In the future, it will be relatively dynamic and change from day to day. Do you know when the new roadmap will come out? I would expect it in the latter part of December. So just after Christmas, be my expectation. How do you feel about the ship claim changes? So I was reading people's thoughts on this, but I can't retain any of that information in my head for some reason. Where are my notes? No. There's a few different changes and claim things coming. Obviously, they're rebalancing and rejigging everything for the munitions, so an ordnance. So if you've got sort of you've used the missiles or countermeasures, that's sort of part of that. So I know the expedite costs are going to be much higher for all of ships. I think we need to see what happens in the live patch, see what they actually decide on, and then talk about it from there. It'll be interesting to see what they've actually got in mind. Obviously, at this stage, where you can lose a ship really easily from a 30k or something, I want a way of being able to get my ship back quickly so I can do stuff, especially when I'm trying to do content. And I don't want to spend, 50,000 credits or 40,000 credits on getting my 890 jump back if it's just 30k as I've taken off in it. Yeah? But obviously I'll be able to wait those times as well. So what do I think of it? I don't really know. You will be able to get your ships back quicker, I think it was as well. Like, I think with the new way they're doing it, you'll get your ships quicker without having to pay the expedited fees. It's just a sort of an expedited rebalance. So I need to go through the whole list when I'm a bit more competent, to be honest. Will trading be any good? I would expect it to be a highlight of Star Citizen for a lot of people. When do you think we'll be able to take in live bounties? Potentially as early as the sort of middle of next year when they start adding the new medical gameplay stuff in. Because they want to have the new player status system. They've got stun damage in. They've got the ability for people to actually be knocked out and dragged now. So I don't see it as actually being that much further. Actually being able to take people out and put them, drag them back to your ship. I don't see that as that complicated a gameplay loop. And we've seen that bounty hunting is getting a little bit of love even in this patch. So on the website, CIG says the PTU is between the 1st and the 14th. Don't worry about those dates. They are relatively meaningless. It feels like CIG are getting to the point where server meshing and iCache are blocking almost everything. There's certainly a big bottleneck to getting a lot of stuff in-game and functional correctly. Yes. Doesn't mean they can't work on a lot of stuff. It does mean that we are not going to get as much content from patch to patch until they're done. There's still a lot of stuff they can put in-game, though, admittedly. When will we see the heading direction of the compass and the HUD on ships? So there is going to be a way of Well, I think on ships now, isn't it? Let's see heading when you're in atmosphere now. But there will be more expanded ways of tracking where you are, seeing where you are, and navigating in the future. We know they want to do that. Honestly, this year I'm quite thankful for delays. Yes, we've had new content this year, but we've had much more stability and playability. Yeah. So yeah, for me, I agree for the most part. Although alt tabbing has seemed to now be a bane of my life that causes my Star Citizen to crash, which is not ideal. I think some people have had a terrible time with bugs and crashes. Not me so much though. But some people, it ebbs and flows. Like some people have the most annoying edge case constant crashes. Do you think we'll see some scope reductions on systems like Brilliant that have more than 14 planets? No? I think they've got a studio that will build out plans. Hope you feel better ASAP. Do you expect the pace of content to pick up in 2021? I mean, to an extent, yes. I mean, they've been working on a lot of stuff, and more is coming to fruition. Obviously, iCache opens a bit of the floodgates, and then server meshing opens more. And then Squadron 42 should be pretty near completion, and that means a lot more work's going to be going into Persistent Universe, and the core of the game is sort of complete then as well. What about crews and AI inside our capital ships and ships with turrets? Yes? What about them? We're going to have them at some point. We'll be able to hire crews. You'll be able to use AI modules and make turrets semi-automated. Have they fixed the Mercury Star on fuel consumption yet? Yes. Well, or is it still just... It's still just bigger tanks at the moment. There may be some additional tweaks. Yeah, I need to look at all the changes for the insurance stuff and see what they actually do with that. I think you say, well, all of the claims have been multiplied by 2 or 3 times. I think some of the smaller ships are actually easier to get, aren't they? Is that not correct? This is why I'm not doing videos over the last couple of days, because I can't process information properly. I can answer questions based on memory, but I can't take in anything new. There are no different mining heads for the rock, as far as I'm aware at the moment. I appreciate all the love, thank you. Late to the stream, and sorry if it's been asked, do you think there will be any other surprises in 3.12 besides the potential secret ship? Yeah, there might be, and there might be not necessarily even in the initial release of 3.12.0, but maybe something coming afterwards. So the Jericho is a basically military gas station for the UEE that some people have realised that they can find in the verse now. Maybe it's got some function soon. Just catching up, what happened to ship docking? It was on the roadmap at the beginning of the year and suddenly disappeared. I talked about this a couple of times before. There's the 3 types of docking. Relatively soon we're going to get the Constellation P-52 docking, the hard dock. Ship to station docking's being worked on. We've actually seen progress on that. We'll get that relatively soon, within the next couple of quarters, I would expect. And then further out to ship docking. There will be cities with free roam streets, ? So some of the cities will have some of the internals and area to move around, but it is not going to be freeform. It is not going to be GTA or Cyberpunk. Areas are going to typically have relative function in each of the areas, but they're certainly not the full interiors of everywhere is going to be done. It is going to be some highly detailed areas, some mission areas, some interesting zones and city parts, but it's not going to be full just walk around the streets, because Star Citizen would take another 15 years to come out if that was the case. You talk about a fix for vehicles bouncing around in moving cargo bays. So ships and vehicles moving around when in a cargo bay of another ship is a physics grid problem. They are aware of it. Would you prefer to wipe often? No. I want them to not wipe, really. Right. I want them to wipe only when they need to wipe, to be honest. Star Citizen is 100 times the scope of Cyberpunk. They're very different games. Cyberpunk has, for the most part, very polished gameplay loops for a single-player game and highly dense areas of content constantly. It's a very different game from Star Citizen. When do you think Homesteads are coming out? Well, they're whiteboxing them. They're building them out at the moment. Homesteads, really, the ones we've seen are just additional points of interest, and then they'll be building some of that towards the base building gameplay as well. How fast do you think they'll be able to make systems? That is a good question. It depends. Depends on what system. Depends on what planets they're building. Do they need to? If they've got all the assets already, they can build them out very quickly. If they need to build assets, and they probably will with some of them, they need to build new biomes and new hero assets and stuff like that as well. So, will they ever put monsters on planets? Yeah. I mean, we know there's a pyro crab in Pyro, big giant Cthulhu crab. There's going to be a big Yeti, or multiple Yetis on Microtech, and there's going to be various dangerous and benign flora and fauna around. Does Chris Roberts love us? I mean, to an extent that we're backers of his game. How long will getting 100 systems take with Turbulent at full speed? We don't know. We don't know. I think that's something that we need to ask them once they've got their first system out, I suppose. Are they going to show us some more Squadron 42? At some point, yeah. When do I think 3.12 will come to the live version of the game? Within the next 10 days. Any idea why Chad hasn't turned on planetary orbits yet? Because, even though they can potentially have them in the game now, that would cause a billion other problems currently. I don't think they'd even consider planetary orbits before server meshing. Deus Ex and GTA had a baby, and it's Cybertech, Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, totally agree. Original Deus Ex, GTA 5. It's also got a bit of Fallout in there as well. Really, really enjoying Cyberpunk. I think it's a great game. And some of my initial annoyances and gripes of the game have been relieved partly by finding better weapons that I enjoy more and that have the sort of feel that I want. How can you move the Big Benny's machine in Covalex? Just pulls me to the wall. Oh. I don't know. So, in some patches, you're able to target that Big Benny's machine in Covalex with the gravity tool. In others, you are not. Because the server knows where it is, but your client doesn't necessarily. So, it doesn't detect that you're targeting it. It detects that you're targeting the wall and sort of like hangs onto that. Do you have strong hopes that this new patch will have less dedicates? And maybe less bugs? Yes, I do. I think it'll be more stable for most people. How do I... When will I be able to plant BoredGamer's face onto that? Paint? Plant? Plant my face. Like a potato. It's such a weird question. Thanks, Skylark. Are you worried that giving players the ability to hire NPCs as crew will stop players from working together in the game? No. I don't think NPCs are going to be as good as players, and organisations are going to give players a cheaper way of potentially doing that. Just working together with a group of mates or group of people. I just think they give you more options, that's all. Will we see NPCs on Planet Habs in Stanton first, or on Pyro when it comes out? Yeah, when are we going to have NPCs moving around outpost locations, non-major city locations, properly? I don't know. I don't know how much work the AI needs for pathfinding around planets yet. The AI is derpy as sin. A lot of those problems come from the server tick rates for sure. Do you find the new interaction UI of Lie as ugly and immersion breaking as I do? What, for mining? What are we talking about? You're talking about on elevators? Which one? Cloud tech will be implemented on the planets. So, cloud tech we have in game now in 3.12. Okay, the gas clouds that stations and points of interest are in, yeah. Although the volumetric clouds are associated with weather clouds, it's not exactly the same tech because they want moving clouds for weather that are volumetric and move around potentially with a wind and stuff like that as well. They are different, but they are slightly related. We'll have them in game at some point. You may have seen some cloudy type stuff being added in 3.12 as well to planets. Star Citizen is being developed for future hardware for the most part. Star Citizen likes to name its updates. What would you call 3.12? That is a good question. What do we think it could be called? It's got to have the word refine or refined in it. Mined and refined? Something like that. A refined reputation? Something like that. Will Star Citizen ever run as good as Elite Dangerous? So Elite Dangerous has an advantage of being very polished and optimized, and not having as much going on as Star Citizen, like graphically. Star Citizen will look better, but I don't think it will ever have as high frame rates as Elite Dangerous, even when it's fully polished. It will be... It depends on how you sort of... how you're scoring that. I don't think it will ever... Even when it's optimized, I think it's being built for future hardware on lower-end systems, and even on the same-end systems. Elite Dangerous is still going to have higher frame rates. You see what I mean? But Star Citizen is going to be an optimized game at some point and very scalable. My German is terrible. I apologize. Could you give a quick explanation about server tick rates and why they're slow and the sorts of things they affect? I take it that tick rates will improve with server meshing. Yes, sort of. So, Star Citizen needs a load of server tech and optimizations built out for it. And it's got some skeletons and plans for a lot of stuff. It needs iCache. It needs a huge amount of other optimizations and stuff they're building for it at the moment. So at the moment, they're sort of trying to run Star Citizen as a live environment, multiplayer, as best they can. Okay? Raging Sage, thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciate it. But that comes with some costs. Now, there is an issue with when there are too many entities around, or too much going on the server, which is quite often, that the tick rates drop below 30. When the tick rates drop below 30, lots of things go wrong, because the server is expecting those tick rates to be 30, and that's a mixture of the tick rate is the server updating the client and receiving updates from the client, basically, sort of, and the server thinking, okay? So when the server can't think properly, AI and NPCs and lots of other server logic doesn't work correctly. So, and that can be a mixture of things. You could probably blame AI standing on chairs, although that does seem to have largely been fixed. We'll see if when that breaks again. AI standing on chairs, AI being derpy, whether that be FPS or light AI, missions not spawning stuff in properly, lots of stuff like that. Thank you very much for all the subs. Very much appreciate all the Prime subs and stuff. There's my thank you very much. What feature am I most looking forward to? Well, in the future, all of it coming together, the dynamic economy, dynamic universe sim. For me, it's I love the project and I love what the game is trying to do, but I'm looking forward to the game when it is done and when it brings everything together. What's your favourite ship manufacturer? On paper, Drake. But, I mean, I own a lot of Aegis ships. I own a lot of... I own lots of ships. I quite like Crusader at the moment as well, though I hate the Nomad. I mean, not hate. It's a strong word. Save that for the Reliant. I need to get our Revel in York badge printed out for my case. I was going to make an Origin 890 jump case, but I worked out that it need more to look like a yacht. My computer case, even when it's all sorted out, doesn't look like Origin. Even like an Origin component for a ship. I realised it does look very much Revel in Yorkie. So I'm going to print out a Revel in York, which are that organisation in game. They probably would make a computer case as well. So I print that out for my PC build, which is I'm just waiting. Well, I'm waiting on my graphics card, my processor, and my power supply. Okay, then my build is complete. The processor, I've been told it will be here by the 22nd of December. The graphics card, I'd expect it to be around the same. That could be pushed back to the new year. And then the power supply, I was told they didn't have any stock of. I can't remember if I bought a new one or not. My brain is totally addled, so try not to do any odd purchase decisions while I can't think. I appreciate people sticking with me today while we've been chatting. As I said, I've been ill over the last couple of days. I'm still pretty ill now. Can't think very well. It's the main thing. Got a headache. I can't really process information very well. It doesn't stay in my head. It doesn't sort of like register that I've been reading it. Cloudy mind. Any ideas when we get rid of that awful star map in game? They are working on a new star map at the moment. Has Cloud Imperium announced what they're planning to do this year, if anything, for the Christmas, aka holiday live stream? We don't know we're getting a holiday live stream. However, I have been semi-reliably informed there is some stuff happening in the latter part of December. So I'm expecting something like a holiday live stream or some new information coming out. Obviously, we know that the new roadmaps are coming out. I'd expect some posts and information and some cool stuff from Cloud Imperium. Maybe they'll show some Squadron 42 stuff. Maybe it'll be some letter from the chairman stuff. Maybe it'll be a little bit of a, maybe not a live stream, but a video. We've got on the 17th of December, the second part of Reunion. I'm going to go for a quick pee. And I will leave you while I'm going for a pee with this video, Reunion, and we'll talk a bit about this when I get back. No. Oh. Do that. And then I'll do this. And then I'll do that.
Come on, Dugan! Can we kill you to fly a little less crazy? I don't know what you're griping about. I just liberated you from those miscreants. More like kidnapped. Do you want me to give you back? Not particularly. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa, not a good idea! Where's your co-pilot anyway? Mal? Really not a good idea! I think we lost him. I think something's on fire back there. Hush. We had some wild times on this ship, huh? and Star Release tried to steal it?
Which time? He always had a weird fixation on the duck.
Quack, quack.
Think he still does?
Oh no, why
And he's dead.
So are we if you don't get back up here? Those miscreants caught up. Hi-yi-yi. Just get in the damn turret.
Some pretty good music with this.
Come on, you bushwhacking Ranus, let's go!
Gonna shoot or talk to him? You gonna get me in a position?
So this was the trailer for the Mercury Star Runner. Sort of.
You see that?
Do I still
Encos.
got it?
Winner.
Or do I still got it?
Sulo Pindo.
Part 2 on the 17th for this. This is a little machinima / short. Maybe it could allude to something else coming out.
T-A-E-A.
Your banner is
It's a
terrible.
Video at sync. Oh,
And
I
told
don't
you,
know why
they
it's out of
can't
sync.
Recognize my voice.
My audio settings changed. I can't sort them out. I'm the worst.
How much are the deacons paying for me anyway?
Is it out of sync?
You aren't gonna talk your way out of this one, buddy.
So, words. I don't know why the video is the worst. I don't fucking know. So, I'm looking forward to the second part of that. Second part is on the 17th. It was the belligerent duck, the Mercury Star Runner, that was part of the original sort of like little game they did for the original concept of the ship. Really looking forward to that. I thought that was amazingly well done. Obviously, a very short thing. I hope that we start to get the tools so that people can more readily make Star Citizen Machinima. Also, I hope that a lot, like with people like Torelli and other people, that Star Citizen stop poaching all the people that were making Star Citizen Machinima. As soon as they see anyone with talent, they offer them a job. Yeah, I'm hoping to see more and more sort of tools for content creators to make cool content in the future. Star Citizen is incredibly pretty. Let's be like honest about it. I mean, it looks great. A lot of people go, lol, screenshot simulator. Well, I mean, in its alpha, it's a good-looking game. People can do a lot with it, especially with the FOIP stuff. And when FOIP starts to work properly on the network, rather than just being locally working, which is a weird thing, we'll actually be able to do a huge amount of machinima-type stuff and acting-type stuff. Any idea if we will be able to have destructible trees like for landing? So, maybe. We don't know. We don't know. Is the honest answer for that. They've discussed it both sort of ways, and they've talked about it briefly, but we have no idea where they're going to go with that. Pardon me. I'm going to lower the volume of that. What else have we got here? But yeah, there's a few things that are coming at the end of the year, it seems, for Star Citizen, beyond just 3.12 live. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for all of them. Exactly what beyond the star maps? Star maps? What am I talking about? Not star maps. Scratch that. Beyond the reunion thing, beyond the new roadmaps, beyond 3.12 live, remains to be seen, but I am expecting more. Will the modules for the Retaliator base be showing up again soon, sometime? So, I would expect so, yes, because they've basically said the Retaliator is starting its modularity cycle. They are working on bits for its modularity and its modules early next year. So, expect to see them on sale at some point, and probably get into the game relatively soon. There will be a Christmas event because the one on the Halloween was a blast of Unity. Let's hope so. Let's hope there is a Christmas event where we can earn stuff in-game by playing. Let's hope that maybe there'll be a Xenothreat event or maybe some missions that get us to attack Nitros as part of a mission that aren't entirely unlawful. Maybe Xenothreat, maybe Arlington Gang. These are missions which will contain Idrises and potentially javelins to fight. Question, my EVA has failed each time after ejecting a space in 3.12. I simply fall downwards. I'm sorry, it's a bug, obviously. Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's got a dumb bug. I've got gravity! What feature are you most looking forward to? You talked about that. What else have we got? Snakes in the grass? Dangerous creatures? Yep, we know there's going to be dangerous flora and fauna. They're literally building a load of... there's a dedicated team now working on animals. Or teams, maybe? Star Citizen has certainly become more gamified. 3090 soon. So I've got a 3080 coming to it, making its way to me. I've got like a load of cool stuff just waiting to be built. I've got one of the new 4th gen SSDs, the SN850. It should be better than the actual Optane drive I've been using. Potentially, maybe. Actually, I don't know. We'll see. Do some tests against them. The Optane drive's got really low latency. That gives it some benefits, but I do suspect that M2 is going to be a bit better. At least, well, more than a bit better, probably. Do you think CIG's tool building phase is getting to the point where we'll see rapid progression? I mean, definitely more rapid progression. We'll start to see more and more come out. I mean, they're building even more studios now, and I mean, we want to see Squadron 42 come out soon, is what we want. But yeah, we'll start to see... I mean, they've talked about it with iCache and server meshing. It literally opens the floodgates to a lot of the issues they had in the game. People can talk about Cyberpunk here a bit if they want. It's all good. I don't mind people chatting about Cyberpunk. It's all good. Cyberpunk is a pretty good game. I just don't think it's the Jesus game, and it couldn't possibly live up to the hype that a mixture of me and the rest of the world gave it. And there's a lot of people just saying it's the best game ever, which I don't think it is. I do think it's a very good game. There are obviously problems with it. There are obviously bugs with it. There are obviously some issues with it. I'm very much enjoying it. You hoped this game would come out this decade. Well, it will come out this decade. In 2020. If you hoped, Soldry, if you hoped that Star Citizen would come out this decade, you were correct. Probably. Get wrecked. What GP do you currently have? I've got a 2080 Ti currently. So, I feel like I made a very expensive decision there. However, I'm waiting on a 3080. I'm waiting on my 3080 to arrive. I'm in a queue. I bought it, just in a queue. It's one of the reasons I was annoyed at. So 2 different places I typically purchase components from. I bought the components on the within seconds of them being released. Yeah, and they said they had stock. Bam, got it in my cart. Got it, paid for it. Bam, got it. Got confirmation that I had one. Perfect. Yeah. Next day, for both of them, 2 different websites for 2 different things. One for the CPU, one for the GPU. They said, "Oh, we didn't actually have the stock. There was too many people coming online. But we'll keep your money unless you want to cancel it. And this is the best chance you'll have of getting one of these. You're now in a queue." What position are you in the queue for my processor? 999 in the queue. What position are you in the queue for your GPU? 560. It's like, fucking wow. And I genuinely believe that I believe, I'm not going to name the names of the companies I purchased from there. There was 2 different ones. And obviously I might be incorrect. I feel that that was sort of planned and they didn't really care that they didn't have the stock. They just went, just take the orders. Just take the orders. No one's got the stock. Most people won't cancel their orders. We'll just give them to them when they can. Really annoyed me. That's what it feels like anyway. I'll potentially reach out to them and actually talk to them at some point, rather than just assume that... Are we getting any Christmas missions, grotto envelopes? So, yes, for the Christmas envelopes, there are going to be packages that you can find around landing zones, and that's in the PT at the moment, I believe, question mark. But yes, definitely for that. And there might be some more event stuff and some more stuff coming with 3.12 live that hasn't been mentioned, and later on towards the end of the year. What, I have 100,000 Soto in game. What's a fun way to use it up for the next wipe? We don't know when the next wipe's going to be. I mean, it could be for 3.12. I'm hoping it's not. How could you... A fun way to use up money? Fill loads of ships with trash and blood them up. I don't know. It depends what you want to do. Do some high risk stuff with... Even if it's just cargo running. Buy or rent some ships. Rent some cool ships. That's probably the best way of doing it. Rent some cool ships. Cyberpunk 2077 has given me some more confidence that Cloud Imperium are doing exactly the right thing for gaming. Hopefully... On me. Sorry, I'm pretty ill at the moment. People complaining about the time it's taking will take note of the bugs and slight disappointment that Cloud Imperium, that Cyberpunk has been. Okay, so I think Star Citizen is going to, and Squadron 42 are going to have the same problem that Cyberpunk does. They can't live up to their hype. There's no way they can live up to their hype. They get so overly hyped that they're going to be this sort of mega new Jesus game. Okay, but I don't mind if they don't live up to the hype. Okay, I can still have a lot of fun with them. Even if Star Citizen is 50% of its hype, it'll still be one of the best games ever. Cyberpunk is a genuinely great game. It's really fun, and I have no idea how far I am through it. I mean, I think I'm at the end of Act 2. I'm just starting Act 3, question mark, maybe? Do you have a direct line to CIG if you want to clear up any questions? I have people at CIG I can contact, yes. I'm not sure. So, technically, anyone could contact them through the same means, though. It's like, yes, I probably have... Well, I've got loads of Skype contacts and stuff as well from when I've had office tours and stuff as well. So I probably just have more contacts than other people that are official. But, I mean, you can contact, like, Ulf and Xylo and people like that. Would be a point of contact. It would have been Molly. Obviously, Molly's now left. Hope she is doing well. Yeah. You can contact... I can contact them for stuff. And I will sometimes. Like, occasionally I might poke Proxys and say, can I publish this? Because it was an Evocati build, but that's not where I got the information from. Or something like that. And so best practices will sometimes contact CIG. But a lot of the time I quickly broadcast on the news, and some of that news might just be something else that someone else has reported on, might just be a rumour, might be some speculation, but... Star Citizen has the advantage of going through open development. When Star Citizen releases, we'll know what we're getting, because we've been able to play it for so long. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. It also has the disadvantage of open development and having to make a playable alpha every cycle, which slows down development. So there are both positives and negatives to open development. It's yeah, a lot of weird stuff that actually causes. What's your price speculation on any new straight-to-flyable ships that could be in 3.12? So if I had to say a ship price for a new straight-to-flyable ship in 3.12 that was entirely new, I think between $190 and $250 would be my gut feeling. $190 to $250, yeah. So you'll see 3.12 go to live within the next 10 days or so. They're trying to get it out as quickly as possible. New roadmaps, probably not on the same day. Expect the new roadmaps between now and the end of December, and some other bits and bobs going on as well. There's a few other things that might be happening still in December. I don't get what people saying, will this game ever be released? Or this game will never be released? Okay, so if you're 18 years old and Star Citizen has been in development for over half of your life, yeah, you could certainly see it as something that's never coming out. I can see why people would say that. That's fine. I'm 35 now. I'm pretty chill. I can see that they're making progress. I can see that they're producing a game. I'm pretty confident that they're going to produce at least a great game. Will it be the best game ever? I don't know. I'm hoping that it could be. At least in some elements. I'm hoping that it's EVE 2.0 with FPS and a genuinely great game and the best economy in the world and a load of stuff for Star Citizen. I'm hoping that Squadron 42 is better than I remember with... not Street Fighter. Wing Commander. Fuck me, I'm ill. My brain is... I've got a headache and my brain can't process information properly. I literally struggle to grab thoughts and connect them. Ugh. Cyberpunk, one-player game, 8 years development. Yeah, and it's pretty good as a single-player game. And I think they've done very well with it. But obviously could never possibly live up to the hype. Souls are old. We wonder if we'll live long enough to see Star Citizen and Squadron 42 completed. I mean, Squadron 42 wise, I think you're there. You'll be fine. Star Citizen. I mean, if you're old or have an underlying health condition, maybe. Oh man, that's rough. Shit, that's dark. Damn, boy, just so young. 35 isn't that young anymore, is it? I think I look older for the amount of development I've had to watch Star Citizen go through. It's aged me. Leaks based off data mining, which bring up concerns regarding future exploration gameplay. Say an RSI Bengal location revealed through data mine. How will this be tackled? Well, I mean, when it's found anyway by players, it's all going to be released anyway. So whether it be by data mine or the first player that finds it, it's always going to be spoiled by someone. Do you see what I mean? I see what you mean with the Bengal locations and things like that, but I think that'll be a bit more dynamic and, well, the first person to find that actually gets it. You know what I mean? Or you can only find it when you get to a very high reputation with a sort of like a particular organization or guild that then goes, we've got this very dangerous looking blip here that looks like a fleet. And you go there and there's a big fucking giant pirate fleet around the semi-damaged Bengal that they found or attacked. And you'd clear out the pirates and it'd be like a giant raid, and the reward could be that you get to salvage this Bengal, maybe even repair it. But the stuff with leaks, okay, there's always going to be leaks in all games. Yeah? And how do they deal with that? That's an interesting question. I don't mind the leaks too much. The people physically leaking information, I have a bit of a problem with. And well, not really, but I don't think they should be doing it. I should be saying. I don't think people that are Evocati or that are working at CIG should be leaking information. Okay, covering that information, I think, is news. So what Star Citizen Leaks are doing, or what Eradicator's doing, or whatever. Cover that news. Yeah, that's fine. That's news. People want to know news. I want to do a Star Citizen news channel. I should be covering all of that. But what I've also done is that I've realised a lot of my viewers also want a bit of respect towards the game, sort of, and its marketing decisions, but also they don't want to necessarily be spoiled. So what I'm trying to do, and what I tried to do with the last leak thing, was very much compartmentalise it and not have any true spoilers in the title or thumbnail. Now, some people said that that thumbnail was super spoilery. I don't think it was at all. But we are going to go in an extra step in obscuring spoilers and leaks in the future. And it will be very obvious from a video's title and from a video's thumbnail that it is a leak video about spoilers, about rumours, about something that you might not want to see if you want hashtag and no spoilers for whatever. Or I don't want to see any leaks. Ugh. Obviously, I won't ever... Well, obviously, I'm not covering Evocati leaks at the moment because I am an Evocati member and I'm NDA'd for that. So young! Moonshadow, we'll both be around for Star Citizen. Don't you worry. Don't worry, brother. How's it going? I am, well, not deathly ill. I was very ill over the last couple of days. Zin is finishing up a video of her doing mining and stuff like that at the moment. Getting that gameplay loop out, and she should have that done later today. So I'm looking forward to that. She's been absolutely fantastic while I've been ill. Hopefully I feel a lot better today, admittedly, but I'm still pretty rough. So in a minute, I'm going to stop the stream and I'm going to go back to bed. And hopefully Zin will be able to get that video out and I'll be able to wake up in a couple of hours and make it go live. Is the plan. Horizon and Crusader, they are planned for release Q1, Q2 2021, split release. So some of it coming Q1 and the rest of it coming Q2. What does a wipe do? A wipe, a full wipe, will wipe assets and your in-game monies. In-game assets and in-game money. Not stuff that you've bought with real money. Will we see C4, trip mines, and claymores? Things similar to that, almost certainly. And other gadgets too. Did they say they will be putting in alien races? Yes. Got Banu, got Xi'an, got the Vandal, got the Devaran, we've got the Kurthak. Got the Orisians, whatever they're called. Wait, are they doing a full wipe? I don't think they're doing a full wipe for 3.12. I don't think they need it either. That's not confirmation they're not, but it doesn't look like it to me. Yeah, I'd love to hunt the Yeti as well, Jag. I think it would be cool. I'd love to hunt the space worm. I'm not sure if you're aware. There's a giant, like sandworm, giant, massive sandworm on Layer 3. It'd be cool to hunt that, wouldn't it? Sorry, what's wrong? Dreaded cough. No, so I don't have any of the main symptoms of COVID. I thought I had, so I might have it. I don't know. I ache everywhere. It feels like my skeleton is trying to leave my body. I'm sensitive to light. I've got a headache. I can't think properly. I can't process information properly. I can't read very well. My neck really, really hurts. Headache is pretty bad. And I was occasionally shivering and couldn't get warm. And then sweating, swelteringly hot. So, and general exhaustion. Like, when I'm down in bed, I'm in a really bad position. I'm in a load of pain. I can't be bothered to move. Can't be bothered. Get tested. So, in the UK, the get tested stuff says specifically you need to meet certain criteria. And I don't have any of the symptoms currently. Because I'm not hot to the... Oh, maybe I am hot to the touch now. I've got a digital thermometer. 1 second. Let's do COVID test live. And then you can tell me if I'm dead. I don't even know how this works. Fucking hell. Got a digital thermometer. So I'm making a medical kit for my house because obviously I'm looking after my dad at the moment and my parents. We don't have a proper medical kit in the house, so I've been buying lots of things up over the last few weeks, like a digital thermometer, loads of medical supplies, not loads, but a reasonable amount of medical supplies, blood pressure kits, stuff like that. So some sensible ways of being able to do diagnosis and scales and things like that to be able to track your personal health and be able to very quickly go, well, I sort of think everyone needs a home medical kit. I have also realised that we don't have a file alarm currently installed. I was like, oh my god. So I need to get that sorted as well. Right, how does this work? Oh, no. Start? On start? Does this not work? Is mine broken? Bear with me. Because do that. Do that. Does that work? Yeah. Oh! Going through a load of colours. Do I put it on my ass or something? Do I do that? Just put it on my head? 36.8. That's a normal human temperature, right? That's good. That means I'm not dead. We're good. We're good. This one was my wrist. 35.9 on my wrist. What's this error? Oh, apparently I'm dead. We're fine. We're good. Means I haven't got a temperature, at least, eh? There is a new strain discovered, so symptoms may change. Yeah, so I'm gonna be cautious at the moment, okay? I'm ill with something. Do not know what it is, but I'm gonna rest. And I feel a lot better than I did 2 days ago, which is a good sign. Hopefully I have not infected my parents or anything. I can smell and taste fine, yeah. I'm very tired though. So yeah, my mates that have had it have said they felt like I did, and then they lost their sense of taste. Then they got chesty and more. But I haven't got any of that. I haven't got a temperature, although I was hot and cold. But I thought I was hot and cold. It might not have been. I need a tier 1 med bed. That is true. I'll treat me. Have there been any updates on what CIG is planning to do with hangars? Well, we know they want to have physicalized addressed hangars. We know they want to have player bases, but beyond that, we're still waiting. COVID Gamer UK. Wow, different kind of stream. Sounds like normal flu. I know, right? I think it just is, or potentially meningitis. Because my neck, the back of my neck feels swollen and hurts. I can't think properly, but I do feel. Have a couple of Lemsip. So doesn't Lemsip have ibuprofen in it? Isn't ibuprofen potentially bad? Ibuprofen. I've got some Lemsip downstairs. I'll have a couple of Lemsip. Tell you what, I'll have a couple of Lemsip in a minute. And that. Yes, mega insomnia. Mega insomnia. And lying there just going, I'm so tired, I can't move. I was so tired and so exhausted that I didn't care that I had insomnia. Well, I did, but didn't. Oh, it's weird. Fucking insomnia's gash. This all came up from a question, someone asking, "You good?" So apologies if you didn't want a full rundown of my health. Do you think they've been able to balance Squadron 42 without physicalized components? They technically don't need physicalized components in the same way in Squadron 42. But I mean, I suppose they probably do because they want that physical damage system. They want that. I think they can do a lot of Squadron 42 without that, and then put that in to finish off the individual engagements. Probably. Have you ever used batteries before? What are you implying? I put them on my arse all the time, Jaybird. I was... my brain is literally addled. I tried to play Cyberpunk earlier. I was like, I can't work out what I'm supposed to be doing. It was telling me to go somewhere, and I couldn't... Like, my brain couldn't put together... I can't even explain it. I couldn't work out how to use the minimap, is the only way I can explain it. I couldn't... Oh. It's frustrating for me. My brain operates on a strategic and research level, where I like to be informed and I like to use that information to plan everything and do everything. When I can't process things, it is so frustrating. Did they get rid of landing and exit splines? So, for Lorville and Area 18, yes. They've updated the areas for, so there's no more bullshittery with the landing splines. Are they finished with the first-person shooter parts? Oh, there's loads more that they need to update with that, especially with the physical damage and loads of stuff. Loads of stuff. Insomnia will affect your thought process. Yes, yeah, I agree. Right, any more questions? We'll go through a couple, if there's any more. Yeah, no more entry and exit landing strip bullshit tunnels at Lorville and Area 18. They've been updated. Thoughts on the Jericho? Expect that. So the Jericho is a sort of gas station, little military outpost that's like rearm repairing with fuel. I expect to see military ships sort of go there, spawn there, despawn there, stuff like that. But yes, it might be used for submissions and stuff like that in the future as well. Jag, thank you very much. Andy COVID bits, very much appreciated. Those bits do help protect me from COVID, as you well know. As does money in general. Thank you very much, sir. Very much appreciated. Sorry, it's not been a particularly high energy stream today. Not that they're massively high energy anyway, but I mean, this is hashtag exhaustion. Merry Christmas stream. Ho ho ho. As soon as I feel better, we'll get some. Hopefully, I'll feel better by tomorrow, or a lot better by tomorrow. Like I'd say I'm at 70% today. I'm 70% better. I was really fucking bad yesterday. Like, I was bad the day before. Oh, it was bad. Will there be underwear skins? Probably. I mean, you can have underwear now. Did I miss you mentioning the BB12? What? What's the BB12? What are you chatting about? What are you talking about? Does docking use their tractor beam technology to nudge your ship, or does it use takeover? So, I would expect it in a similar way to how they were doing the dock with the P-52 and the Constellation, that you'll align most of it yourself, and at the end, it will take over. Do you developers think pad ramming and griefing are game-level issues, or just problems for players to deal with as part of the game? So, they think that it's something they can actively get players to not do by having the correct systems in place. So if they have laws, defenses, and that sort of stuff in place, that will prevent players from wanting to do it and doing it. Now, what I would also say is, when you are in a safe area, so like a station that is in a safe location, you know that like you're near Earth, and you're on a station by Earth, and if someone's trying to repeatedly ram you on a pad there, you should not be punished for that. They should go, well, yeah, they've rammed you and killed you, but you're next to the best medical facilities in the game, and well, that person has to pay for it as well. So GTA sort of style, the person that did that has to pay for all of your medical expenses and your ship and everything, and you don't lose any of your lives. That hurt my head, that cough. That's the first time I've coughed as well, so ever in my entire life, no, since I've been ill. So hopefully it's not the VV. I'm going to dash off in a second though, because I do not feel well. But thank you very much for joining me today. Very much appreciated. Zin should be finishing off and putting a video together today, and I think it'll be pretty good. I'll probably chuck in a giveaway or something for that video as well to force people to watch it. We've got some 100 series of ships to give away, so we'll do something like that. But thanks very much for watching, guys. I very much appreciate all the subs and the monies and the bits. I hope you have a great Christmas. I'll see you on Friday, if not before, and hopefully I'll be more than all right. You take care.